everybody, Kyle Marcelli here. Behind me, this is the MBRP Performance Exhaust headquarters. A little bit later, we're going to catch up with Martin Barkey, the owner of this ship, and he's going to take us through a factory tour, show you the ins and outs of what it is they do. It's a really cool story. Started off making snowmobile exhaust, then got into the diesel exhaust industry. Now they do it all, including performance cars, tuners, you name it. MBRP has been alongside of my racing program since 2012 as I ran the American Le Mans series. This year you're going to find them on the side of the Ferrari 488 for R.Ferri Motorsport in the Pirelli World Challenge. It's been a while since I've been here. I've been working with MBRP for a few years now in the racing program. Today, took the day off, came up to see Martin Barkey. You might not recognize him, but this is him, I'm telling you the truth. He's behind the beard. Martin, good to see you.
Yeah man, Kyle, good to see you. Come on in. So this is our backyard. Tubing, and more tubing. We just unloaded a truck this morning. You know what, there's trucks coming like every few days. So anything from, basically 3/4 inch tubing right up to 5-inch tubing. Could be anywhere from aluminized, could be T304 or T409 stainless steel tubing. So that tubing makes it from the yard into what we call first cut. So first cut is basically, they'll have a work order here that'll tell them that they need 100 pieces at 42 inches or 200 pieces at 36 inches. So each component of an exhaust system, it starts out as a piece of straight tube and cut to a specific length. After that tube comes in and gets cut to a length, it makes it to a bender. So this is pretty cool to see here. We put a whole stick on here. It's all programmed. This is bending up a tailpipe or a mid-pipe for likely a gas truck application. It's 3-inch tubing. There's mandrels inside there, and then there's clamps on the outside. And you know what? Like if you were just to bend it, it would just wrinkle and crimp. If you didn't have something inside the tube, you wouldn't be able to do it. See the balls at the end?
Okay.
So they actually follow the bend as the tube's being bent. So it's inside the tubing and clamped on the outside of the tubing. So the tubing cannot disperse, but only follow the bend. So here's something we do a lot of. So this is Snowmobile Header. Full T304 stainless steel. As you know, we've been into snowmobile exhaust is how we started 20 years ago. So these are welding booths. So right now we're knocking off some Mustang exhaust systems in this booth.
And this whole operation is 24/7?
It is 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. In order to mass produce or to produce consistent parts, we need what's called jigs. So every single component, a mid-pipe, a tailpipe, a downpipe, an axle back system has a jig. So what you're seeing here is just a small segment of all the jigs it takes to build all the exhaust systems that we offer. I've taken you through the cutting, welding, grinding. Yep. Then it ends up being into the Pac Department. Okay. So each one of these bins or components, like that component may go with this one, which might go with this one, which might go with that one, and away you go. Or it might need a mid-pipe. So the packing department here will get fed these all day long, and they just know which ones go together to make a system. If you and I started packing these, we'd probably pack stuff together that just didn't go together, and the customer would get something that doesn't align and doesn't fit. Look at that. We even recycle all our cardboard for packing material. Yeah. So what we used to throw out, we now use for packing inside the boxes. So here we are getting a truck ready. This will run over to the warehouse. So we don't have any finished product warehouse here really.
Okay.
Packing department, this truck runs back and forth to the warehouse. How many trips to the warehouse every day?
About 4.
So 4 times a day we'll load this truck up and go to the warehouse. And you can imagine with this many exhaust systems every day, we go through many clamps. So each one of these clamps will be for a specific year, make, or model. So, this will be for your Chevy diesel, you know what I mean, just in front of the muffler, or the next one might be just after the muffler. So this is the Focus RS right now. We've already developed the system on the RS. Dave must be under here doing some tweaks and tunes, maybe some updates, or maybe we're just re-ing it for a different exhaust system as we continue to test. But we'll bring vehicles in here, and this is where we'll borrow vehicles from our local Ford, Chev, Dodge dealer, whatever it may be, and bring them on, take off the stock system. And basically, we'll either have a system that we've already bent up from CAD, they'll be here ready to go on the car or truck or whatever it may be, and then it'll go into the next room for some dyno tests, and then we end up and go outside for DB testing, just driving tests, you know, that sort of a thing. So yeah, we never know what vehicle is going to be on the hoist here. We'll bring our vehicles in, we'll test them stock, and then we'll do what we think is going to be, you know, after we flow bench, after we CAD, after we do everything and develop something, we'll build it a one-off, put it on in the room that we just came from, and then run it out here in the dyno. And you know, once we flow bench, we know what basically we need to do for flow or for how we need to open it up or whatever we need to do in that regard. If it flows, you know, 500 or 700 CFM, we know usually on a car or truck, by opening it up a certain amount, you'll get performance gains from that. So really, we try to build something that is aggressive yet not obnoxious, but still has performance gains. We talked about, you know, something that's going to last for a long, long time. So this is where we come in here, make sure we have the performance gains. If we don't make power, or we don't have performance gains, we just don't sell it. And we'll go back to the drawing board and really start building up something that does.